Hi everyone. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that. Sorry, I forgot that I was not muted, or I forgot to mute myself. Hopefully I didn't say anything. I don't think I did. And I kept I was trying to pull my mic over and there's like this little plastic thing that is stuck on there and it kept catching. So I'm sorry if that was really loud. Okay, well that's good. Katy Perry kissing ground after being in space for 4 minutes. I know. I heard about this. The Blue Origin stuff is so funny. It's like, I don't know. Part of me is like, this is awesome. We're doing space travel and hey Zeptimus, thank you so much. That's an image to start with. I literally just pulled up Reddit. I didn't mean for this to be the first image that was shown there. But yeah, I don't know. Blue Origin, it seems like it's just so much publicity stunts. Like, I don't really know what good they're doing. I guess they're getting celebrities to pay a lot of money to go into space for 3 minutes. So that's something. How are you guys doing? Thank you for the affiliate anniversaries. I actually didn't even know that that was going on. I knew that my Twitch anniversary was recent. I think it was at the end of, well, yeah, it was at the end of last month because it's whenever Far Cry 5 came out. And I had planned to do a big stream and play Far Cry 5. But I don't know. I'm in weird moods lately. I feel like I'm losing my mind applying for jobs. It is exhausting. It's mentally exhausting. It's mentally draining. I feel like it is absolutely terrible for mental health. But it's like, I gotta do it. I feel like I struggle so much with, I find a job and I'm like, oh, I would love to do this. This would be perfect. I could absolutely do this. And then I get my hopes up and then I just don't hear anything. Like, it's so frustrating. And it's so, it really is not good for my mental health, I feel like. But like I said, I don't know what to do. Like, I have to do it. I have to find a job. It's like this job with textures.com. Like, I want this job so bad, but I can't even get them to respond to me. Like, forget about the fact that I spent like 4 days putting together a portfolio and taking pictures and getting everything ready for that and writing an application and resume and cover letter and all that stuff. Like, they literally have not even emailed me back to just let me know that they got the application. And I don't know, like, there's no one, I can't find anyone that works there. The job still says that it's available. I wish they would just tell me, like, no, we don't want you, you suck. And then that would at least be like, okay, I can move on. I don't know, man. It's just, it's rough. Publicity stunt. Yeah. But I don't really know what the point of it is. It is hard out there these days. I don't know. I feel like there's so many jobs that I would love doing, but I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I must not know what I'm doing because I can't get in touch with anyone. I don't know. I mean, that's not completely true. There's been some people that have just declined. part of the problem is I feel like I don't really know what I mean, I know what I want to do, but I don't think that that's realistic. Like my goal, I guess, would be to be an environment artist, but I don't think there's many people that are going to hire me with having as little experience as I have. So that's fine. But I feel like there's jobs like partnership managers, business development type roles, marketing type roles that I know I could do, but I just don't know how to make them hire me or make them like at least get me to an interview. It's really confusing and I'm exhausted, but I must keep going on. Did you guys hear that Oblivion got leaked for like the 5th time? It's such a weird, I don't know, this whole thing is just weird. Like, I don't know why they don't just announce this. Like, everyone knows that this is a thing at this point, and I feel bad for the people that have been working on this for so long and were so excited to show it off. I also feel like, I don't know, I mean, it's just 2 screenshots, so it's obviously hard to go off of, but I feel like people are not going to be happy with the way this looks. And I don't really know why they're putting this filter on the game that kind of makes it look like Fallout. Like, this looks fine. This looks great. But this compared to this, I just don't know what they're doing with the coloring there. You haven't kept up with gaming news? Didn't even know there was going to be a remake? Yeah, they've been talking about it for, I feel like the entire... Well, we've known about this for years, actually, because it was one of the leaked games that showed up in that document during the Activision merger, where like all of those games were leaked and like all of them have come true. It was like a new Doom game, a new Halo game, different remasters and things like that. And slowly they've all been coming out, and Oblivion remake remaster was one of them. And then for like the past, I don't know, I feel like the past 6 weeks, there's been people saying like, oh, it's coming next week. Like they're going to drop it. They're going to shadow drop it next week. And it just it doesn't happen for some reason. Hello, wow. Hello, Kailua Kid. I kind of merged all that together. Thank you. I'm trying, but it's tough. It's very tough. It's fun. Oh man, I do feel really bad about like all the projects that, like that one Sky Oblivion, the massive project that's been in development for 12 years or whatever. I'm sure that people are still going to play that and still be excited for that, but it's gotta be like a little bit of a burn and a sting if you've been working on that project to know that they're about to release this and your project that you've been working on for 12 years or whatever is still not finished. Those poor guys, I feel bad. There's no way Bethesda are making a remaster for Oblivion. There's just no way. This is like the 6th time in a year that people have been saying that it's coming out next week. That is true. If it comes out before the end of April, I will eat a sock. Well, the thing is, I don't think Oblivion, or I don't think Bethesda is doing this. I think it's a third party. But it's clearly true. I mean, there's so many game journalists that have been talking about this. Like, it's absolutely true. I didn't believe it for a long time because I didn't believe it because it just is, and I still don't understand their reasoning for not talking about it. Like, it just seems like they could have announced this back at the last developer direct that they did, or honestly, they could have done like an entire, showcase just for this. I feel like they could have been like, hey, we have some exciting news about, they could have just said like, Oblivion remake, come check it out. We have 20-minute showcase where we're going to show it off, and everyone would have lost their minds. I don't know why they didn't do that. They should hire me to handle that. It looks so much worse. The original is green. Yeah, I don't know what is going on there. I wonder if it's like weather effects or something. Maybe it's really overcast and different time of the day or something. Like, there are a lot of shadows right here. Maybe it's very late in the day. That could be something. It is an odd screenshot to show a comparison with, though. I also am really sad that they wouldn't just do a Morrowind remake. That's what I would really like. Oblivion would be cool, though. I mean, I love Oblivion. It's such a fun game. Maybe they were doing what you like, where they reveal the game 3 weeks prior to release. Well, yeah, I do love that, but if it's been leaked 15 times, I think you just got to say, hey, it's out, or it's coming. At that point. Yeah, I think this is a reasonable argument here, or a reasonable message here. Volumetric fog takes the sunlight color and makes it look brown. Maybe it's dusk or evening on the image. I think that could very well be it. Is that Oblivion? Oblivion was such a, like, when I think of a fantasy game, that's what I would think of, is Oblivion. And probably a lot of it is because that was, I think that was the first RPG, like fantasy RPG that I ever played. So that probably has a lot to it, or a lot to do with it. I used to, well, first of all, Oblivion would barely run on my computer back in 2006, I guess it was. Playing on a CRT monitor. I played at 800 by 600 resolution. And I remember it would get like 10 to 11 frames per second, which was unplayable. And that was what taught me about game optimization and tweaking settings. And I learned how to change settings. And I was able to get it to up around 24 frames per second. And to me, that was playable. Which I think I accredit that to not being able to tell frame rate too much nowadays. Like, I mean, I can tell the difference between 30 and 60 FPS, but I'm not much of a stickler when it comes to FPS like so many people are. It's like if you get 59 FPS, somebody will freak out. I think a lot of it is because, I played 300 hours of Oblivion at 24 frames per second, so you don't know pain. It is funny, like the number of people that just seem like they're finding out about this. I guess it just shows me how much I look at gaming news, which I don't even think is that much, but I mean, it's like multiple times a day, so I guess it is a lot. Video game companies are a joke. Why are you beige? Beige. Beige. I said that weird. I have no plans for today, guys. Does anybody have any topics you'd like to talk about? Anything you'd like to discuss? I am completely open. Did you play Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? Looking forward to playing it on PS5 soon. Oh, that's right. Yeah, when is it coming out? I did play it, and I really enjoyed it. What is the release date? April 17th. 2 days. Oh, today's tax day, by the way, if you're in the US. What is, for other people in other countries, what is your tax day? What is, like, the last day that you can file taxes for the year? Yeah, Indiana Jones was great. They really, really captured the feel of the old movies. Troy Baker was just, like, crazy good. He was so good that there were times, like, most of the times I just thought it was Harrison Ford. But then it was like, it was so good that whenever you would kind of hear Troy Baker come through, it was like, oh, wait, something feels weird. Physical edition of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle only contains 20 gigs of data. How big is the actual game? That's becoming more and more common, though, for physical games to just have like a small portion of the game, or, some of them literally just have like 500 megabytes, and it's just a launcher that downloads the entire game. The 24th is tax day for Finland. Interesting. I wonder why it's not just like the end of the month or something like that. Why is it in the middle? The Pro Enhanced version is supposed to run in native 4K at 60 FPS. Oh, that's the other thing that's funny about it, right? Is it's like the PlayStation 5 is the best way to play. Well, I mean, other than a PC, but Compared to, between an Xbox and a PlayStation, the PlayStation is the best way to play the Xbox game. Oh, that's funny. Hey, Brian, thank you. I did play a tiny bit. Thank you, Dev. Hacking, I did play a little bit like a month ago. I was actually just looking at that in my library the other day, though. That was a fun game. It had some interesting ideas that it was doing. My friend just pre-downloaded it. He said it's 125 gigs. Wow. Man, video game sizes are getting just crazy. I saw that Last of Us 2, I think it was 150 gigs. Yeah, 150 gigs. That's insane. We don't need bigger games. I mean, I don't really mind. Like, it's a slight annoyance because even though I do have a lot of hard drive space, I don't have that much hard drive space. And I kind of miss when you could just, like, have all of your games downloaded, But I'm very, very, very fortunate to have really fast internet, so it doesn't take that long to download 100 gigabyte plus game. But there are a lot of people that's obviously not true for, so I do feel for them. The SSD requirement for games is getting to be much more common as well. That is something that I feel like I need to take into account, because I have a lot of space, but I use a lot of space. I have I guess about 3 terabytes of SSD space, but then I have like 20 terabytes of, traditional spinning hard drive space, where I still install a lot of games, especially older games, and I don't really notice much difference, to be honest, in load times. But obviously new games do make a very big difference. What is something like Spider-Man 2 size? 140 gigs. Good gracious. Yeah, there you go. Just to say, I do not care about forced drama and whimpering. I think Assassin's Creed Shadows one of the better AC games to come out in ages. Yeah, I'm really glad that it's doing well, and I'm glad that people are enjoying it. Obviously, there's controversy. When is there not controversy nowadays? But I thought it looks really good. I'm really excited to play it at some point. I have no idea when I'll play it, but I have kind of been wanting to get back into an Assassin's Creed game, and everything that I saw about it looks really good. Can't afford a functional pet, let alone something that runs Last of Us 2. Actually, you can, Suvi, because it runs on your PS5. It runs just fine. I want to get back and play more Star Wars Outlaws as well. I really liked that game. And that game got hammered, which I thought was, like, yeah, there were some problems with it, but overall I thought that game was really good, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked what I played. RoboCop is $10. Wow, I've been wanting to play that for a while. I really should get it at some point, but no buying video games. Cocoon. Jusant. I really liked that game. That was such a pretty game. Cozy Keep. Such a sucker for these games. There's so many of these types of games, but there's a reason why. I think Ghost of Tsushima is the better game of the two overall, but the game is really good. I really enjoy the history and geography lessons embedded in the codex that you learn as you play as well. It's very fulfilling. Yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, from what I've seen, again, I haven't played Shadows yet, and I didn't finish Ghost of Tsushima, but I really liked Ghost of Tsushima a lot, and I liked the story, and I feel like it was, it's just got like that, kind of Sony polish to it that a lot of their games have. Both in storytelling and presentation. And from what I've heard about Assassin's Creed Shadows it's an Assassin's Creed game, but it's one of the better ones. And I've heard it's still like the modern formula, which I think you either like that or you don't like that. I'm somewhat indifferent. I like the older ones, but I liked the shift that they did, and I think that they needed to do a shift if they were going to keep Assassin's Creed relevant, into going into more of like an RPG or something like that. But I do kind of miss, I think the thing that I miss about the old Assassin's Creed games is, the first Assassin's Creed, you only had 8 people that you assassinated, And it made it much more impactful. When you assassinated that person, it was a really big thing. And I miss that in modern Assassin's Creed games. It's now you just have a gigantic list of people to assassinate. And it doesn't feel like there's as much meaning and, as much build up when you go to assassinate someone. But at the same time, I think that's kind of what hurt the older games is it's that was really cool, but it also meant there wasn't really a lot more to do in the games, and they got kind of boring and repetitive. So I don't know. It's a tough thing to balance. RoboCop Rogue City is quite good. Yeah, I played the demo and loved it. I'm sure I would love the game and will love the game whenever I play it. I have a lot of nostalgia for RoboCop. Watching it as a kid when I was way too young to watch it. Also impressed with how many people are playing Blueprints for a puzzle game. It's getting really good crossover play. People I would never suspect to play a puzzle game on stream are loving it. Yeah, it's a really cool game. I have been playing a little bit on the side. I like it that you can just kind of, go in, play for 15-20 minutes, do a run, and it's fun. I like it. From what I'm hearing though, it gets crazy. I'm having a little hard time understanding how crazy it gets, because I feel like I'm still early on and there's still a lot of stuff that I don't know about it, but I do really like it. Patch 8 is out for Baldur's Gate 3. I know. I've played a little Baldur's Gate kind of off stream, not super recently, but here and there I'll pop back in, play a little bit. That's such a good game. Because I haven't played a few of the AC games, I don't know what they added, but it appears they are starting a pre-game interface showing the... Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really like launchers or anything like that. It seems like it's a little overcomplicated. That was part of their... A few years ago, maybe 2 years ago or something like that, Ubisoft announced like 5 different Assassin's Creed games. And it was like one of them was called Assassin's Creed Nexus, or what was it called? And it's supposed to be like a hub for all the Assassin's Creed games. Already hacking. One streamer I follow has been playing it and is aghast at how long you go until end game. I haven't watched much of the gameplay myself, as I don't want puzzle spoilers. Yeah, it's definitely one of those games that you want to go in as blind as possible. So let's see. Yeah, here we go. So in 2022, they announced several additional games for the series, including Shadows, and Assassin's Creed codenamed Hex, or Hexa, rumored to be set in Central Europe during the 16th century. Alongside the release of Shadows, Ubisoft introduced the Animus Hub, intended to serve as a centralized hub for Assassin's Creed games from Shadows onward. Originally teased, right, Assassin's Creed Infinity, that's what they were calling it. But I thought it was supposed to be like, and maybe this is what it was supposed to be and they scaled it back. I thought it was literally supposed to be like an Assassin's Creed game that like you could go into and it would be like kind of like Assassin's Creed 4, if anybody played that one, where you had like the fake company, the fake game company or whatever that you worked for. That's kind of what I was imagining that it would be, is like you have almost like a, I don't know, like a office building or something like that you go around and you like can find details about all the different Assassin's Creed games and you can launch them from in there. I think that they scaled that back quite a bit though. And now it's just kind of like a glorified launcher, which I don't really know if anybody really wants that. More like real world gameplay, yeah. Hexa, you're hexcited? Did not enjoy the Shadows screen with the older games, confusing initially, yeah. Zeptimus, you need to get back to BG3. Curious to see some of the new subclasses. Yeah, I think they added like 12 new subclasses or something like that. I thought that they announced even more games than that though. The Animus Hub is not a launcher, but instead a feature integrated into Shadows, future games, and select games from Period 2, which incorporate the modern-day storyline of the series. Yeah. I don't know. Does anyone like a launcher? I'm curious if there is anyone out there that like actually is like, yeah, I like the Steep's CD Projekt launcher, or even Baldur's Gate 3 has a launcher. I don't know. I don't feel like anyone really likes those. I mean, even if you're a bit indifferent on them, that's kind of where I am. Like, I don't really mind it, but at the same time, if I had a choice, I would prefer just to be able to click, play on Steam and just launch the game and not have an additional step that you have to go through. I'm sure from, like a corporate point of view, it's like, oh, well, this is building our brand and we can put advertisements in it and things like that. The only launcher you don't mind is Larian. But, I mean, again, like, I don't necessarily mind it, but do you actually prefer, if you want to go and play Baldur's Gate 3, do you actually prefer, like, launching it from Steam, then a launcher launches, and then launching Baldur's Gate 3 from in there? Or would you rather just click play, which you can do, by the way, because Baldur's Gate 3 does not have, what do you call it? Protection. I want to say electronic protection, but I know it's not that. Copy protection. You can't just straight up launch it, which is really nice. DRM, yeah, that too. I guess copy protection is still an old term as well. You don't have strong feelings one way or the other. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. But I mean, if I had to choose, like, I would just choose to not have a launcher. Off topic, but Veritas had a conversation about the story of No Man's Sky, and he was working on a documentary about it, but actually moves on to other projects and sadly will not complete it. But wow, I had no idea how deep the rabbit hole the game's story went. They created an entire alternate reality of websites and videos tying in the 4th, 5th, and 6th wall levels of the story. Kind of mind-blowing as I learned about it. Really? I didn't know that either. You mean the developers created those websites? No launcher in a perfect world. Huh, I didn't know that. I mean, I was always kind of intrigued in the lore of No Man's Sky, but I have so many mixed feelings on No Man's Sky. I've tried to play No Man's Sky probably 5 or 6 times. So I played No Man's Sky when it first came out on PlayStation 4, I guess it was. And I enjoyed it for what it was. I would give it like maybe 6 out of 10 at launch. It was very rough, obviously. I got pretty tired of it after maybe 10 hours. And then I took a break for quite a while. I think when it released on PC, I picked it back up, played another 10 hours, enjoyed it at first, then I got really tired of it again. And then like maybe 3 or 4 other times throughout, the multiple like really big expansions that they did. Every time there would be a really big one that would come out, I'd be like, oh, I kind of want to go back and try it again. But I think my problem was just every time they never really changed the core gameplay. And I think that is the problem with that game for me, is that it all revolves around gameplay that I just don't find really engaging. And especially like, you go to a new planet. Well, first of all, you find out very quickly that there's like 4 or 5 variations of the different planets. And actually, even backing up before that, I always hated, I don't know if they still do this, but I tried many, many times, and every single time I would start that game, they would always start me on a planet that was toxic or had, like unfavorable conditions or whatever. And I feel like it was always just not a good way to start. I never understood why they didn't start you in like a pleasant planet where you didn't have to worry about your resources constantly going down. Seems like it would have been better. I often compare it to Subnautica. I think the way that Subnautica starts is just like perfection, where they start you in the shallows, where everything is, relatively safe. You have a lot of resources, like really close to your crash site. There's nothing too crazy that's going on there. Of course, you can venture off and go get into some dangerous stuff. But I hated the way that No Man's Sky would start every time, and you'd start with your crash ship, which that's fine. But the planet that I would always be on would be some toxic planet that would like very quickly eat away at your shields or whatever they were called. And you had to like really rush and find the resources to fix your stuff. And it just didn't give you any like kind of break-in period. Actually, I have the exact same problem with this and the forest. It's one of the reasons why I just have never been able to get into the forest, because the forest does the exact same thing where, to me at least, I know I'm probably in the minority because I know most people love the forest, but I feel like it never gave me enough time to just like get into the atmosphere and kind of find my way around and everything like that. And I get with the forest, like maybe it's a little bit more, it makes sense a little bit more in the forest because like your kid is kidnapped or whatever, and you crash, and like there are priorities that you have to do. But I just never understood why they do that in No Man's Sky. So that's one of the biggest things that always annoyed me about No Man's Sky. And then the other thing is, like I was saying, you quickly just kind of pick up on like there's just like there's infinite number of planets, but also there's like 6 planets because there's a lot of the same ecosystems or whatever, and they all are pretty much the same. And then you also just you're just doing the exact same thing on every planet. You're going and mining resources to make things that allow you to mine more resources, and that's basically it. It just didn't feel like there was a very satisfying progression, and the gameplay just seemed so repetitive, and it seems like all the stuff that they added were things that weren't really fixing the core gameplay to me. Hello Games seemed to pull out all the stops. You could get lost in it all. You even need to use the Wayback Machine to get all of the storyline and lore. Same for you, Suvi. You have 8 hours in No Man's Sky. The very, very short summary of the storyline is that we live in a simulation, and we play the game No Man's Sky, which is a simulation, and you are chasing AIs lost in a simulation being run in the No Man's Sky universe. Okay, so I have heard that before. I've heard other people talk about that. Again, like I think it's a cool idea. I just don't think the execution was done very well, and I think like if you know how that game ends, it just feels like such a slap in the face to me. Yeah, I don't know. I have so many things to praise for Hello Games, though, because I do really appreciate that. Like, they could have just taken the money that they made from that initial sale. They sold millions and millions of copies of that game. They could have taken that, gone off and made another game, or just honestly gone off and do nothing. And I do really appreciate how much effort they put into continuing to work on it You know, regardless of how I feel about it, they could have charged for those expansions. They could have just stopped and just moved on to something else. But my goodness, you can't deny that they kept at it for a very, very long time. I mean, they're still putting out stuff for that, which is just insane. So good on them for that. The toxic planets where you die in 5 minutes. Yep. Sons of the Forest is better. Sons of the Forest improved on it. Yeah, I might have to try Sons of the Forest at some point. Seems to give you just a little more help and buffer time to prepare before you are a meat buffet. Yeah. I don't know. I think I always want to like survival games, and I've tried a lot, but I don't think there's many survival games, if any, that I can really think of, other than Subnautica, that I just really, really loved. And I love Subnautica for so many reasons. First of all, I think the story is just really, really good, and like the way that it's presented is just fantastic. A lot of it helps that I went into that game just knowing absolutely nothing. I just thought it was going to be like another survival game, you know? And finding out like some of the mysteries that you find out, and like finding out more about the world there that you are on, is just fascinating to me. I was just completely enthralled, and I think the pacing is done so well, and I love how they have a system that helped pace things out where, again, this is one of my biggest complaints with survival games, is so many of them just like put you in a world, they give you all the tools and everything, and they're just like, all right, now survive, have fun. And some people love that. I would say maybe most people love that. Like, that's what most people want out of a survival game. But I need more direction. And Subnautica did such a good job at this by giving you those radio messages. So, you know, like every now and then you would get a radio message to go and find one of the crashed ships, the crashed pods or whatever. And so, like, it would give you a direction to go and do something. Then you go there, you get a new audio log, you get some new tools or resources or whatever, and that would kind of give you a new direction to go with. I loved the way that they did that, and I feel like there's so many or so few survival games that do that. Resident Evil is survival horror. That's true. I agree, Hello Games is mostly redeemed. In my opinion, their next title will be Under the Microscope. But what new games aren't? I think if their next title is good, not even great, I would say they've completely redeemed themselves as a studio. Yeah, well, I also hope, although this probably won't happen, but I hope that people will not build up that game like they built up No Man's Sky to be like this, you know, to be something that it's not. And granted, I think Sean, what's his name? I can't remember his full name, but he's definitely partially responsible for causing a lot of confusion and saying things that maybe weren't true. But at the same time, like, I can't really blame him because, you know, he was just like this little indie developer that got this chance to present his game on, I think it was presented at E3, you know, on the stage of Sony at an E3 press conference, and it just completely blew up. And obviously things could have been handled a lot better on his end as far as communication and setting expectations. But at the same time, like, he's human and I get it, and he wasn't prepared for all of that. So, you know, I can forgive that a little bit. What is their next game called? I know it's like, it's set on just one planet, right? And it's still like Still very much No Man's Sky. Let's see. Wait, are they hiring? What do they got? QA tester, graphics, machine, gameplay programmer, experienced artist? Maybe? Junior artist? I could do a junior artist. Probably not remote, though, is it? Okay, I'm getting distracted. Their new game is Light No Fire, right? I made an all games shelf in my Steam library that I have sorted by Metacritic scores. Oh, that's interesting. And I've been trying to complete my games from the top down, regardless of game style. The only exception being games I got for free that I end up not enjoying. Interesting. How do you do that? Is that like a plugin or something that you sort by Metacritic? Seven Days to Die is good. I don't think I've ever tried 7 Days to Die. Have you seen the Red Plague mod for Subnautica? I don't know if I have. Is that like a Mars mod or something? That's what it sounds like. I'll check it out here in just a second. It's a bit scary. They had some opportunities to counter the PR, and hopefully they learned to keep their impressions better focused. Just planting a tree in Fable and watching it grow. Just like planting a tree in Fable and watching it grow. Never actually played the Fable games. I played a little bit of one. Not like the first game. I don't remember which one it was. It was whatever one was on PC. Light No Fire, set on a fantasy planet the size of Earth. And it's like supposed to be like a 1-to-1 creation size of Earth or something, right? Or like massive. Subnautica 2 releasing soon. Yeah, but they're releasing into early access. So it's probably still going to be years until that game is like finished. Why are they so negative? No in each title. You can just create a new shelf. It has options. Wait. How do you do that? I don't know how to use Steam at all, if I'm being honest. Oh, add a shelf? Whoa. You can sort by Steam review as well? Friends playing? Huh. I didn't... How long has this been a thing? Wait, so Metacritic score. Choose what you want to display. All games. Wow, look at that. That's cool. Wait, how do I... Oh, I see. It's been there a bit. I honestly just like never look at any of this, if I'm being honest. I just always look over here. I remember back when they kind of changed all of this. I mean, that was a long time ago. It's probably when they added this. And I never have done anything with this. So let's see. Disco Elysium, I've played a little bit of that. Yeah, I've played 4 hours. I feel ashamed that I haven't played more of this. I know I will love it. When I started it, I was like, oh, I really wish it had voice acting, and then they updated it and it did have full voice acting. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna play it, and then I played like 2 hours, and then I don't know what happened. Baldur's Gate 3, fantastic. BioShock, fantastic. Interesting. This is really interesting to see the games rated like this. I mean, so far I think I would probably agree mostly with everything. Half-Life 2, Portal 2, BioShock Infinite. That's interesting. I think, personally, I would rate Bioshock Infinite very high. I don't know if I would rate it that high. And it's also interesting because Bioshock Infinite has really, like, the fans, I feel like, have really kind of turned on Bioshock Infinite. And even, like, critics. I feel like when I hear people talk about Bioshock Infinite on podcasts and things like that, they don't sound too favorable on it. Again, I wouldn't rank it that high. I really like Bioshock Infinite. But I think I would probably put Bioshock 1 and 2 above it. But there's also the DLC, and I don't know if that kind of ranks into this. I think Burial at Sea is fantastic and just like redeems all of the issues that I had with Bioshock Infinite. And especially just like if you played all the games, it's such a fantastic wrap up to everything. There's also a play next shelf that suggests a next game, but I like my Metacritic way to do it myself. Wait, so... how do I add that? Oh, play next. So it's saying that I should play Pillars of Eternity, Grand Theft Auto 4 episodes, specifically episodes from Liberty City. That's interesting. Divinity Original Sin and Counter-Strike. Interesting. Pillars of Eternity makes sense. I gotta be honest, I don't know if I will ever play Pillars of Eternity. Like, I'm kind of interested in it, but it seems like a lot of reading. Grand Theft Auto 4 I love. It's my favorite GTA game. I have no idea why it would recommend that I play specifically episodes from Liberty City. And then Divinity Original Sin, that makes sense. I mean, I love Baldur's Gate 3. I love Divinity Original Sin 2. I love Divinity 2. I love all their games, honestly. Counter-Strike is interesting. I guess maybe because I play a lot of Call of Duty. I don't know. I've never really played Counter-Strike. I've tried it, like... does it say how much I've played? Oh, it says total 0 minutes. Maybe I've literally never launched Counter-Strike 2. I know I've played some Counter-Strike of some kind. I don't know exactly which kind it was. Oh, wait, this is Counter-Strike 2. That's the new one, right? Oh, yeah, this like just came out. How much actual Counter-Strike have I played? I'm going to say less than 2 hours. Actually, it shows none. I know I've played a tiny bit of some Counter-Strike. Bioshock Infinite did have quite bad racism. Yeah, but I mean, like, it was part of the story. I feel like it's like saying, like, To Kill a Mockingbird has racism. It's like, yeah, that's part of the story, though. So did you not like 2, Dav? I liked Bioshock 2. Infinite DLC was amazing, yeah. GTA 4 is so good. It is. I don't get their algorithm with that, honestly. I assume they're keeping this genre with the game genres that you haven't played much of. Yeah. I'm interested how they come to those. Like those 4 games specifically. Racism was of the era it was inspired by. Yeah. Let's keep looking through this. This is interesting. So Divinity Original Sin. Interesting that Divinity Original Sin is higher than Original Sin 2. I figured 2 would have been higher. Elden Ring is next. Makes sense. Look at Oblivion coming in there next. And then Skyrim. Then GTA Vice City. Mass Effect 2. Come on. Can't deny that. Look, Mass Effect 2 is so good, they literally put it in here twice. Why do I have 2 copies of this, actually? I think maybe like one is Steam version and another one's Origin version or something. That's kind of funny. Civ 4. That's interesting. Civ 5 was my favorite. OST? I don't know. They both just say Mass Effect 2 2000. Well, no, wait. One says Mass Effect 2. Yeah. One says Mass Effect 2 2010. This one says Mass Effect 2 2010 Edition. I don't know. Company of Heroes? I don't think I ever played Company of Heroes. I don't think I would like it because it's real-time strategy, right? I know a lot of people loved that game, though. I've played 18 minutes. I have 2 of those as well. That's weird. Divinity Original Sin 2. Love that game. Half-Life Alyx is fantastic. That's really interesting. That Total War Rome... Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to say... This is the Rome collection. Okay, that makes sense. System Shock 2. Team Fortress 2. Against the Storm. I don't even know if I know what this game is. 3 copies of Mass Effect 3 next. Civ 4 is the best Civ, no discussions. Was that your first Civ? I feel like whatever your first Civ was, it's like that's the best one. For me, it was 5. Although, technically, 4 was my first, but I only played a tiny bit of 4, and then 5 came out, and then I just played a bunch of that. Hal just got all the bundles. Your old Civ was here first. All right, well, that's fair. I mean, if I had known how to buy games back then, I probably would have played. I would have loved it. Like, I would have been a kid, but I still would have loved playing it at that time. Oh, yeah. Okay. I do remember this. I think I got this in a Humble Bundle. And I do remember everyone saying how good this game is. And I was looking at it not too long ago because I was looking for a city builder. Has anyone else played this? Against the Storm? I should really check that out. I definitely got it in a Humble Bundle. Against the Storm isn't bad. People say the DLC ruins it, but I think it's not bad. Okay, let's see. Batman Arkham Asylum. Okay. Then Batman Arkham City. Interesting. Okay. Crusader Kings 3. Dark Souls 2. Wait. Dark Souls 2 is the highest rated Dark Souls? That's bizarre. That is really interesting. I can't say that I agree with that. Well, yeah, I mean, from soft games, yes, Elden Ring is above that, but out of the Dark Souls games, Dark Souls 2 is the highest. Don't get me wrong, I love Dark Souls 2. Although I did recently replay it. I played a lot on stream, and kind of makes me a little sad because I was like, this game just feels so easy. And I think that this is the problem with FromSoft games, is like they keep getting harder and harder, that as you go back to the old ones, it's like, well, there's no challenge here now. And it's so funny that I used to, think that like, oh, this is just the hardest game in the world. And I breezed through that. Never played any of them, really. Hey, Plan, welcome. Deus Ex Human Revolution. Yes. This game is one of the greatest games of all time. Period. It breaks my heart what Embracer Group has done with the Deus Ex franchise. My only hope is that they can come around and make another game at some point. I also have a lot of hope in Perfect Dark. Not just because I just applied to Crystal Dynamics, would love to work there. But I really, really like what they showed of the most recent Perfect Dark. When they first revealed that they were going to make a new Perfect Dark, I was pretty skeptical, as I think a lot of people were. But that latest trailer / gameplay trailer that they showed, they are hitting on all the right categories for me. You tried to play Sekiro and the game just wouldn't let me use a controller at all, even though Steam allows me to use it with almost every game. That's really strange. Huh. What kind of controller were you using? Man, I love Deus Ex. I have so many memories of playing this game. This was another one of those games that it was like kind of a game that I never played this type of a genre before. I'm trying to think if this is like the first kind of immersive sim that I would have played. I mean, I guess I played BioShock probably before that, but BioShock is kind of an immersive sim light. This is definitely the first game that I played to this caliber of immersive sim. And I didn't even know what an immersive sim was back then, but I was like, I like this. I don't know what this is, but I like it. And I want more of this. Xbox One wireless for PC. It was your wired one for PC, but still. Yeah, that's really strange. Mankind Divided was kind of meh, way too short, and not that many locations. My first one was Deus Ex 1. Yeah, I've tried to go back and play the old Deus Ex, and I can't really get into it. I really want to. Maybe at some point I can get into it. I think I probably would like it. I really have to be in the mood for like an old game like that. But I don't know, it's hard after playing Human Revolution to go back to a game like that, even with the mods and things. And yeah, with Mankind Divided, there's parts of that game that I think are fantastic. And there's a lot of improvements that I think that they make upon Human Revolution. But I didn't like the tone as much in Mankind Divided. One of my biggest problems in Mankind Divided is like they push, I mean, I know it's called Mankind Divided, so I get it. But I feel like they just push that narrative too much. It's like, if you have any what do they call it? Biotics, attachments, augments, whatever. It's like, you're just looked down upon, and they just like really drive it in. And I feel like it was just a little too forced in that game, whereas it felt more natural in Human Revolution. And yeah, I don't know. Again, like, I know it's literally called Mankind Divided, and like that's the point. But I feel like they just didn't do a good enough job at kind of easing us into that world, maybe. It didn't really make sense why there was like so much division to me, anyway. What does the green number on all games mean? The green number. Oh, so hacking. We have been. There's a way that you can sort your Steam library here by Metacritic score, and so the green number is the Metacritic score of the games. Also, welcome back. Kind of funny how many streamers I follow have Dead Souls, Silent Hill, and Resident Evil on their best of list, and I didn't enjoy them. Really? Oh, I liked Dead Souls a lot. I mean, Resident Evil is one of my favorite games of all time. Silent Hill is great. I don't know, Brian. I guess your taste in game they just suck. I'm sorry. Nope. Everyone likes different things, and that's okay. To be honest, people would freak out. It's always the same. If something new comes, we do not understand it fully. Yeah, but that's the thing, Plan. I don't feel like in Human Revolution, it was like that to a degree, but it felt more natural. Whereas in Mankind Divided, it was just like, it just felt like they were being, is racist the right term? Technologists? I don't know, whatever the term is for it. It just felt like it was too, like shoved in your face. I'm probably not doing a very good job at explaining my feelings and thoughts on that, but I don't know. It just didn't feel as natural to me as Human Revolution did. That world. I can easily see mankind turning against enhanced people. For whatever it's worth, I think Resident Evil save room music is an incredible piece of music and actually forms nostalgia for you. Thanks to the streamer Smoke having used it as a default music for years. Yeah, it's hard to beat those save room themes. All right, let's see. Moving on. Dishonored. Definitely up there with the best. Dragon Age. Definitely up there with the best. Fallout 3. Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. I would not rate that nearly that high, but, we gotta suck up to Kojima. It's a good game, don't get me wrong, but has a lot of big issues to me, mainly that it's just completely unfinished. Wow, look, Resident Evil 4, the remake, is already up there. Makes sense. Is that the highest Resident Evil game? I would not agree with that. Yeah, that's the highest Resident Evil game. I'm probably maybe in the minority, though. I know most people love Resident Evil 4. Bayonetta. Fantastic game. Brothers. There's the original Deus Ex. I have 2 copies of Deus Ex Human Revolution. Oh, this is the director's cut. Okay, that does make sense, because the director's cut did add some really good stuff. Oh, okay, I see. So, actually, I think this game that it was showing me is just GTA 4, the complete edition, but for some odd reason, the cover art specifically says episodes from Liberty City. Okay, that makes sense. That's the highest rated GTA game. Oh, no, it's not. GTA Vice City. Disagree on that. I think 4 is vastly better than really all of the GTA games. Hi-Fi Rush, that is sad. But deserved. How? I mean, look, I don't even know why I have this. Probably came in some bundle. But is NBA 2K17, is that really that good? Maybe I should check it out. Portal, Civilization. Civilization 3. Then there's Civilization 5. All right, all the civs are pretty close. Total War Empire. That is a good one. I really like that one. I'm surprised that Total War, what was it called? Total War. Oh, shoot. What was I think it was the one that came out before this. It was a 2. If we ever get robots that are human-like, we're getting there. RE4 Remake might also just be that high due to lack of review scores, so the average is very high. That could actually go for many of the games, to be honest. Yeah. San Andreas is the best. Well, that's your opinion, and it's wrong. No, just kidding. I would say there's probably a lot of people that would put San Andreas up there with their favorites, or what they would say is the best. I hard disagree. I do not like San Andreas at all, really. I never have understood San Andreas, the love for San Andreas. Haven't played an NBA game since back when the Nets had a chance to win the championship. I don't know how long ago that was. The last time I watched NBA was back when the Lakers did the three-peat, which was like in the early 2000s, I think. I was really into it back then. I probably have not watched a single game since then. Didn't they want to make LA Noire 2? Yeah, I think they did. When do we get that? Never. Because Rockstar doesn't make games other than GTA nowadays. Never played San Andreas myself. I like the memes though. Yeah, LA Noire was a really cool game. Okay, let's see. Borderlands 2. It's the first Borderlands game. I did not like that game. But I don't think I really like Borderlands other than Borderlands 1, if I'm being honest. I know I'm in the minority. Dark Souls 3. I still am so surprised that Dark Souls 1 is not higher. Dead Cells, Devil May Cry 5, Left 4 Dead, and then Left 4 Dead 2, Max Payne. Oh my goodness, you guys. I can't tell you guys how much I love Max Payne. Specifically Max Payne 2. Also, I can't tell you how much I despise Max Payne 3. But I love Max Payne 1 and 2. Also, speaking of Max Payne, what's going on with the... oh yeah, I need to look at the Red Plague mod as well. What's up with the remakes of those? I think that those are coming along, right? Max Payne 3, what a disaster. I mean, it wasn't a disaster from like a critical or financial point of view. I think it did quite well. It just was not my Max Payne. I just don't know what they were doing. It was just such a completely different tone and feel. Max Payne didn't even look like Max Payne. Yeah, no, for sure. For true fans, like you and me, it was horrific. I don't know. I've tried playing that game at least twice, I think, and I would like to go back and play through it, because I think it probably is a decent game, but I just don't know what that. Well, I mean, it wasn't Remedy that made the game. I think that's a lot of it. You know, it was made by Rockstar, and Rockstar was going to make the game the way that they wanted to make it, and that's fine, I guess. But man, just didn't have any of the feeling and tone that the original games had. The original 1 and 2 just had, you know, like this super dark, gritty film noir feel to it. And I loved the comic book style that they would do for the cutscenes and the really thick voice narration that they would do. And then Max Payne 3 was just completely different. Is Max Payne 3 a hit or a flop? All right, let's see. So this is from 5 months ago. It says, aiming to be excellent and meeting Rockstar Games' expectations, says Remedy. Let's see. This was in November 19th, 2024. Remedy's aim: make excellent commercially successful Max Payne remake, build a strong Remedy action game team. Okay. Isn't really giving me like any updates on where it's at. Probably still a ways off. Based on Remedy's consistency and transparency, we should hope to hear from them again once Q4 is concluded with another update. Another update like most quarters. This will be around February 2025 as usual. We'll be covering information. Well, did they update us? When was this posted? Yeah. Okay, just go away, please. I don't even know what I clicked. Getting distracted again. Let's see. What positions do they have open? Development manager, cinematic designer, principal gameplay designer, audio technical environment artist. This is my dream job. Or maybe this. Either one of these. I think this is my dream job, though. Specifically working for Remedy. Just, yes, give them all to me. Imposter pain. Can't remember the last time I finished a whole game. I get tired of it before I'm done with it. Rockstar made it into a GTA spin-off. 3 was way more arcadey. Yeah. I clicked please spam all my emails and cell numbers daily. It's all right. I get enough. It doesn't make any difference. Let's see. Develop technical standards for efficient content generation and contribute to validation checks. I could do that. Drive frame rate and content optimization of the game using in-game and external profiling tools. I could do that. Take part in building tools and solutions to improve the environment, art team's efficiency. I could do that. Maintain content creation pipelines, workflows, and best practices. Got it. Support the content teams in debugging issues with the game tools, etc. Produce and maintain documentation of tools, process, and implementations. Conduct technical training for artists regarding performance and content creation standards. could do all of that. But you know what? I don't have a strong background in AAA art production. I feel like I do show a good understanding of art fundamentals. Basic proficiency in scripting. Don't do that. I don't want to ever do any of that, to be honest. I guess this is technical environment artist. I would just like to be a general environment artist. Minus the technical. Experience with environment arts, content pipelines, DCC packages such as Houdini, Maya, Substance. Yep, I could do that. I do appreciate that they say, or they don't say, like, oh, you need 5 years of experience or something. They just say you need a strong technical background. I would pick up and move to Finland tomorrow if I could get this job, or a job with Remedy. Suvi, you got a neighbor coming over. We can dream. My dream job would be in robotics, but I lack all the skills needed. Hate electrical engineering. Then call them. I don't know how. Well, first of all, I don't think I don't think I would actually qualify for that position. Maybe let's see what principal hard surface artist is. Maybe I could do that. There's no way that they're going to hire, like, they're not going to hire some American to move all the way there when they have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of amazing, way more talented, way more experienced artists that are either in Finland or in the EU. This is a long-term goal. Let's see. Leading a team of artists during a game production and portfolio that just demonstrates a strong ability to create realistic hard surface assets for video games. I'm getting there. I wouldn't say I have a really good portfolio. Well, yeah, no, I definitely don't have a good portfolio, but I am getting there. You're familiar with working with Maya. See, okay, well, they do say Blender, so that'd be good. I'm sure I could learn Maya or 3ds Max, but I just can't afford them. They're crazy expensive. You have an excellent understanding of shape composition and layout. Yeah. You have experience planning a project and managing multiple people and tasks. Sure. You have experience in hiring and interviewing candidates for a project. I do. Kind of. You were used to collaborating. Yeah. Good interpreter. Yeah, sure. I get all that. I can do it. "25 days of holiday and flexible working hours." My goodness. Is that what the rest of the world gets to live like? I don't think that they offer remote positions, sadly. I'm pretty sure that you would have to be, at least close enough to the studio that you could come in. I've been slowly picking up my photography work, trying to build it up to be ready to jump over to that more frequently when I retire in 5 years. Ooh, well, that's exciting. Never know, maybe they'll do a video of we rescued this streamer from a difficult situation and hired him. Well, look, I'll apply for this, but I've applied for almost 50 other positions and only heard back from like 4 people. So I don't necessarily have any. Well, I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm interested. Oh yeah, see, it does say right here, this position is on-site in our Finnish or Swedish office. For this role, we will not consider full-time remote applications. So I don't think there's any point in me applying for that. Like, even if I had enough money to move to Finland, like, I don't think that they would hire, well, I don't really know how that works. Maybe you guys know in Europe. But from what I've heard, most places are not going to hire someone out of the country. And I mean, unless maybe if you're in the EU, but I'm not in the EU. You'll take me in as a roommate. You'll help if Hal lets me meet some Remedy people. Aren't most game devs also have a location in the States or Canada? Well, I wouldn't say most. I mean, there's a lot that do. I do wonder if they have like any US something. Like, they must have. Well, I don't know. Maybe they don't, because I don't know. I'm just trying to think, like, you know, publishing wise, they never really self-publish. Remedy Entertainment US, America, US office. I don't think that they have anything. Our studio offices are located in Helsinki and Stockholm. Yeah. I mean, what I do plan on doing, and I have even done this for a couple of studios, is I've emailed them, and like, well, I've only emailed them, but I've emailed them basically just introducing myself, telling them who I am, telling them that I'm, you know, passionate about game development, trying to find a way into the industry, but nobody messages me back. It's really discouraging. I don't know, like, I don't know. I just don't know what I'm doing. Finland will absolutely hire anybody. Many workers are Asia, Africa, states-based. But you mean like remote positions, right? Good luck trying to learn Finnish. I hear Finland likes work-based immigrants plenty. Hi, Tuminir. Tell them that they have to work. Wait, tell them that they have to sub the usual. Most Finns don't even know English. Do you now believe in the Oblivion remake? We were talking about that earlier too, Minir. I still just don't understand why they don't just announce it already. You mean immigrants who live in Finland? Suvi, I will look more into it. I genuinely will. I have like very briefly looked into it, and I'm probably looking at the wrong things, but it doesn't seem like it's very easy to immigrate to Finland or a lot of EU countries. But I will look more into it. I mean, I think like part of the problem is it's like I'm trying to like prioritize things, and I think I have to really prioritize like just finding a job of some kind, because I'm running out of money. And so I don't think like trying to figure out a way to like move, you know, literally immigrate to another country would make a lot of sense right now. Yeah, I need money. That's priority. Due to current occurrences, I just want to say I always feel so appreciated here, and you're all great people. Thank you, Tuminator. That's really nice of you to say. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that you feel that way. I honestly, I don't know. I love talking to you guys. I was going to say chatting, talking, interacting. I just love all of that. Like, I love meeting and talking with other people in other parts of the world. And it's just really cool that we live in a time that technology makes that possible. And I'm really sorry for all the stuff that the US is doing. That's all. Immigrating is not the smartest move there for sure. Yeah. Not right now anyway. Who wants Oblivion? Give me Morrowind. Yeah, I mean, I was saying that earlier, like, if I had the preference, I would probably choose Morrowind, a Morrowind remake, but I'm very excited for an Oblivion remake. I just wish they would already announce it. Oh, I'm sorry, Tuminir. That sucks, man. But yeah, going back to like game studios, I'm trying to build up a list, and I mean Remedy would be top of the list probably, but I'm trying to just build, like, more than anything, I just want to meet people, and I feel like it's so hard. I feel like it's so hard to network with other people because I feel like I don't know if I just don't know how to approach people. Like, I message people on LinkedIn all the time, and 90% of them don't ever message me back, and that just really brings my confidence down. And then, like, the few people that do message back, maybe a very, very, very small percentage of those people. Well, usually what happens is, like, we talk for a little bit, and then, like, I try to say something like, boy, I would love to, you know, chat more with you and just learn about game development or something, and then I just don't hear from them. I don't know. I would guess Morrowind was a bigger success with sales. Huh. I would think Oblivion... Well, I would think Skyrim would be first. Honestly, I would think Skyrim would be first, Oblivion would be second, Morrowind would be third, and then maybe just go down the list. You often feel like you have to initiate communications and make suggestions on what to do. If I don't, then nothing happens. A bit sad. Yeah. Let's see if we can find sales numbers for Elder Scrolls series. I mean, Skyrim has to be first, right? Oh, perfect. Oh yeah, Elder Scrolls Online. Kind of forgot about that. So Skyrim, 30 million. Oblivion, 9.5 million. Morrowind, 4 million. Daggerfall, 120,000. Arena, 3,000? Wow. That's pretty crazy. Interesting. It's exactly what I figured, though. That it would just go, like, straight down the line. I mean, I kind of forgot about Elder Scrolls Online. But it's kind of hard to say like sales numbers of Elder Scrolls Online because I think that's free to play now, right? So they probably have made more money than anything else with Elder Scrolls Online just because of subscriptions. Oblivion was even more Bethesda game broken buggy. A lot of quests you could not even finish before they patched it. At least the EU versions. I mean, all those games were very buggy. But yeah. Plan will know how terrible the abbreviations of potions in German translation was. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. I want to look at Red Plague now. Oh, this just came out recently, huh? November 13th? Or originally uploaded November 5th? Remember, the 5th of November? The Plague Spreads. This is the first act of The Red Plague, a large story-driven mod that intends to entirely change the experience of Subnautica into something more horror-oriented. It has been around a year in the making, with plenty that is still being worked on in secret. We hope you enjoy this preview of what's to come. While this mod is based on the YouTube series by Anthomnia, it doesn't have the same story. Huh. Well, that sounds interesting. I'm intrigued. Oh, man. Hello, Ozzy. Thank you so much. Welcome in. Boy, I feel kind of bad that I didn't even know it was my affiliate anniversary.
I want to play a game.
Thank you guys for the celebration, though.
Rawr!
Junior artists. I'm assuming that they would not want a remote position. Oh, it's literally just an email. Well, I could email them and just tell them that I would love to work for them. Hopefully they won't see the last 2 hours that I just like bashed their game. I appreciate what they do, okay? So, when is Light No Fire coming? Do we know? I want to say it's coming like... well, to be announced. I was going to say, I thought maybe they had said this year. Oh yeah, set on a fantasy planet the size of Earth. It's kind of funny. It's exhausting, Ozzy. It really is. Hello Games also made The Last Campfire. Did anybody ever play that? That was another one of those that just kind of came out of nowhere. I think it was a very small scale game. I know too, Munir. It just is like, I feel like with job hunting nowadays, it's like all these rules and like it's kind of like a game in some ways to just like try to figure out how to even, get in touch with somebody at a company. And it just seems so incredibly inefficient. Every process, well, maybe not everyone, but most of the ways of applying for jobs, it just seems so incredibly inefficient. And it just seems like I see all these recruiters on LinkedIn who are talking about all these jobs that are available, but you go to apply for one and then like maybe you don't hear anything for weeks. Maybe you just never hear back from them. I got a rejection from one that I applied for in early February, like a week ago. And like if that company that I did apply for, if they did want to set something up, I'm sure that there's so many times where like they put out a hiring thing. They get 5,000 people that apply for it. They spend 2 months looking through all of them. They finally find like, let's say 5 candidates that they want to interview. Well, probably most of those people have already found a job by then or moved on or, like something else. And then it's like, well, now we got to do all that again. It just seems broken. Like the system seems broken, and it seems like there should be an easier way. It seems like there should be like a universal database or something that you just put your name in, you put what your skills are, you put what your experience is, and then just like every job or every company out there can just like go to that database, be like, oh, we need Jim that, is a plumber, and hire him and be done. Oh yeah, Brian, I've run into my fair share of scammers. It's all very obvious though. I mean, I guess the scary ones are like, the ones that are not super obvious, but I mean, that stuff, like I've run into plenty of things where I had someone a couple of weeks ago that told me that their boss only used WhatsApp and they wanted me to sign up for that. And this was like supposedly a US based company. And, I know a lot of people outside of the US use WhatsApp, but it was like very obvious that it was a scam. Thought of trying to be a voice actor. I could picture your voice in Pixar animation movies. Oh goodness. I haven't ever thought of being a voice actor. I don't think I'm very good at acting. So I don't think I would be very good at that. I also think that trying to get a job as a voice actor seems as hard, if not much harder, than trying to get a job in the games industry. Yeah. If money wasn't an issue, I'd go on some island and finish writing your book. If money wasn't an issue, I feel like I would honestly just basically keep doing what I'm doing. Like, I know that I want to make games, or that I want to be involved in the game making process in some way. I love helping other people, especially helping other developers. I love, helping, like I'm helping one person with a marketing plan for their game. I really enjoy doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, I feel like I know what I want to do. I just don't know how to get there. But it's not even that. Like, I'm incredibly thankful. Lately, I've been making more and more money off of selling game assets, which is incredible. Like, I didn't think that would ever amount to anything. And it's growing very quickly, but it's not growing fast enough. And I'm not, it's not making enough for me to live off of. I think maybe if I had like another year, I could maybe scale it to where I would be able to make a halfway decent income off of doing that kind of stuff. But I also just don't know if that's really what I want to do. Like, I'm kind of just tired of hustling. Kind of tired of, doing these things where it's like, I have to make this work or I'm going to die. I kind of just want a job where I can go to and have a paycheck, like a steady paycheck for a little while, even if it's just for a year or so. I feel like I really need some stability. So I've not had that in many, 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 many years, like 15 years. Often in life, you felt that it was like a waiting room. You just never get called up. Yeah, I can see that. Here's the thing, writing applications and going through the interview itself is a skill, and the problem is the process is gatekeeping people who are not good at that skill, but would be very suitable for the job. Yeah, that's very true. I get stuff like that on my phone a few times a week. There's a $200 application fee payable only in Walmart gift cards. Yeah, it sounds legit. Most applications will land in the trash before even being seen, just based on the picture or age or gender. Well, fortunately, so that is something that is crazy about you guys. So, like, in America, we have very specific laws that, like, you're not allowed to ask, for race or age or any of that stuff. Now, they have things where you can, like, self-identify if you want to, but we do have laws that, and I know you guys have laws that, like, technically you're not allowed to discriminate against that stuff too, but it is so interesting that, in Europe, I've noticed so many people have, like, their picture on their resume or CV. Like, that's not common at all in the US. And having, like, your age or things like that is very, very uncommon in the US. From the start of your first job, I had to wait 18 years until I felt some stability. It's a horrible feeling, and I empathize. Sometimes in life, we just have to have a job to work with what we like in our spare time, but hopefully most of our life we had a job that inspiring us and that we are like waking up to. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not against it all finding just, like, just a regular customer service job or something like that. I'm applying to that stuff as well. I applied to a retail job in the mall. I applied to GameStop. I applied to Best Buy. I applied to a bank as, like, a greeter. But I just don't seem to ever get through. Like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, I applied to a hotel, like a front desk position. I even called them the other day. because I applied through Indeed or something like that, and I gave them my information. Let them know that I applied. I don't know. I just need something. I hear so many stories from the States where you need to check mark your race, I guess from a racial quota. It's weird if there are laws on it. All that stuff is optional. Optional. So I actually just recently found this out. The reason that they ask those, and again, they are fully optional, it's for DEI, which I know is like a super terrible, scary word nowadays. But there, I don't want to get too political on this stuff, but up until recently, we tried to be more diverse and inclusive, and companies tried to do that as well, and so there were incentives, like kind of would almost give you a better chance to get a job if you were in a minority, or if you had a disability or something like that. A lot of that stuff is changing. Obviously, I don't want to talk about all that stuff, honestly, because it's exhausting and I just don't want to talk about it. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. Rampant nepotism and prejudice in employing. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, it doesn't matter how many laws you have against that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter, whether you are completely anonymous in an application. You show up and you interview with someone, and if someone just doesn't like the way you look or the way, maybe your lifestyle or something like that, of course, they probably won't. I mean, most of the times they're not going to come out and say that, but they can just decline the job, deny you the job and say for other reasons. And they won't ever say the actual reasons for that. But that's just the sad reality of where it is. Hacking, sure. I mean, I'm open to anything. Blueberry pie, that sounds good. As a chef, you'll get compensation in cash if you hire a lot of minorities. Interesting. Compensation in cash? Like off the books kind of thing? I don't know, I just want a job. Okay. Guys, I have been yapping long enough. I think I'm going to take off. Yeah, I mean, I had people all the time, which I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how common this is. Maybe it is very common. I always feel like it was unethical, so I never did it. But people would offer to hire or to pay me in cash for photography. And they would be like, can you give me a discount if I pay in cash? And I'd be like, no. Like, why would I? And I've had people flat out tell me like, oh, well, you wouldn't have to claim this on your taxes. And I would be like, but I still do have to claim that on my taxes because that would be wrong. So I don't know. Maybe there are people that do that. I would be too scared. Thank you, Suvi. Anyway, I'm going to take off, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out with me, and thank you for listening to me ramble. I appreciate it. I've mentioned this before, but my streaming schedule is just kind of all over the place right now. I'm not really sure when I'll stream again. I do plan on playing Clair Obscur when it comes out on the 24th. I will definitely be streaming that. But between now and then, streaming schedule is kind of all over the place. Also, wow, it is already the 15th, so that means that literally next week is when Clair Obscura comes out. I can't believe that. Seems like it was so far away just a little while ago. All right. Thank you, guys. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.